drum tracks so that it's not distracting. Or maybe when the intro is going, you bring all the tracks back on, you turn everything back on. So stuff like that really helps me to the day. So it's all like connecting the dots. You did something that was embarrassing back then. You did something else that was embarrassing back at some other time. And you did something at some other time which completely doesn't make sense. But what you do right now, or maybe what you do in the future, everything just connects. Everything just starts to make sense of why you did what you did.
Exactly. And that just brings us back to, talking about creativity in general, because I think, you're, as a creative person, you're really a sum of all of the creative input that you've thrown into this bucket, mixed it all up, and then what comes out in the end is your own creative DNA or ID or whatever you want to call it, and that is what makes you. And you're talking about using stems and editing video, editing audio, including music to your videos. That really makes you unique among a lot of other content creators who would not necessarily go into that amount of detail to add music to their videos, for example. And so, and if that way of working, because some people might say, oh, wow, that just takes a lot of time. What's the point of that? But the point is that, of course, working that way and creating those results gives you the creative satisfaction that makes you you. That's it. There's no secret. That's no secret to online success. It's just that's.
And even if you do get, like you said, get viral in the first 10 podcasts or in the first video, I believe again, this is what I believe at the moment, that it is bad for you. Because if you look at people who created one video or two video and went viral, most of them don't create content anymore after a year or so, because it came easy to them. And once it comes easy, you don't really value that. You don't really value that dedication. If something you create on the first or second video and it suddenly goes viral, it's not really good for you. Everything that instantly goes up definitely comes down. Unless you take the time to put in the work into it, and you also take the time to put in that work consistently, not just over the course of months, but really over the course of years and years and years of work.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I can see the other side too, where you may be creating video after video or a podcast episode after podcast episode, and then you have 50 episodes in or 50 videos in and you're 100 videos in or whatever. And, and nothing seems to change. It seems like, nothing is moving. Like in terms of podcasts, it might be that, your listenership isn't going up or your downloads aren't going up significantly, whatever. And I think I can see how that could be frustrating to some people, and they go like, oh, well, it's like, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? And I think that's actually asking the right question. Why am I doing this? And who am I doing this for? Unless you're doing it because you love it and you're doing it for yourself because you love it, then you're going to have a problem. Because if you're doing it for an audience that's not there, then that can only be frustrating. That can never not be frustrating. That's the thing. So I do believe that, as you mentioned earlier, your consistency is key. If you keep creating it, people will start listening to it. They will start watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, then press here for the full episode in glorious Technicolor. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe.